ज्योति कोचिंग क्लासेस में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। जितने भी बच्चे जिन्होंने पेड कोर्स ले रखा है स्टेनो के अंदर और क्या कहते हैं जो आज हमने डिक्टेशन की है अल्टरनेट की, वहां तक जो भी बच्चे पहुंच गए हैं, यानी कि जिसने भी स्टेनो में एडमिशन ले लिया वो ये अनसीन डिक्टेशन पहले दिन से ही लिखना स्टार्ट करेगा। जितनी आउटलाइन उसको आती है उसको बनाए और फिर इसको टाइप भी करें। डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। The single aim of removing the British government, but after independence the situation became rather different. It is natural that after the achievement of freedom, there would be different interests and different ideologies represented in the press just as they are represented in parliament. Therefore, to expect the press in India to support the party in power on all issues would be unfair and unrealistic. Sir, one of the complaints against the press coming from the government after the last general elections was that it did not reflect the will and the aspirations of the people, and that it has represented the monopoly interests. Even these allegations, sir, have been analyzed in detail, the coverage of the last elections by the press. The fact is that a kind of distrust of the press has grown in the ruling party and in government circles. Stop. And their feeling is that our major newspapers do not support the basic policies of the government and they are overcritical. Sir, I would like to say this: if the charge against the press is that they are dependent to a great extent on big business and that they are out of touch with the vast masses of the people, there is some truth in it. But can't it be said about many of our political parties? Can't we say that the Congress party has links with big business? Who can deny that many of our parties often lack a touch with the masses? So, sir, the press on the whole reflects what happens around it, and its situation is very similar to that of most of our political parties and of our political system. Sir, most journalists in this country would admit that there are many faults with the press today. One of the major faults which the members of the press have themselves repeatedly pointed out is that they are not in touch with the large rural areas in the country and they tend to cater largely to urban middle classes. But the situation can ultimately be remedied only when we have higher literacy and education and development of rural areas. Again, it must be concerned that the freedom of the press today is inhibited by the fact that it is run by large business houses and commercial and other interests often impinge on the freedom and integrity of the editor and the journalists who work with them. So we all agree that freedom of the press should be strengthened. The government, the journalists and the public are all agreed on this. वर्ड बता देता हूं कितने हैं। चार सौ 437 ये वर्ड थे। 437 डिवाइड बाई 4, 109.25, 109.25 ये स्पीड थी। और इसको पहले अच्छे से पढ़िए और उसके बाद उसको टाइप कर दीजिए। इस क्लास में इतना ही। नमस्कार बच्चों।